What up, Hambo? Still waiting, just waiting. think this is a Dark Souls joint. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm so pissed. Today is like not been fun for me, dude.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Daycare is taking forever to like let me sign my kid in. I took a shit this morning.
Nice.
I had like a bag of peanuts yesterday, so I felt like I was shitting gravel. It's been a day, man. It's been a day. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with my headset, but I'm like pissed. I had it charging last night. I took it off the charger, and it's just not turning on. So that's fun.
I mean, this one sounds okay.
The headset?
Well, whatever you're using sounds okay.
What's my mic? The mic hasn't changed, just the headset.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's annoying. Fix my shit. Alright, how do I sound? Mic check, mic check, mic check.
Sounds okay.
How about now? Do I sound good now? Do I still sound good?
Yeah. What, you eating that mic? Yeah.
Yeah, this is my new ASMR channel, which is me making like wet sounds in the microphone.
Knuckle Pucker in the chat. What's up?
Yo, what up? That's my brother-in-law.
Yeah, you say that every time.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. I love this guy. I love this guy a lot. Turn my gain down. My gain's too. Oh no, my gain was all the way down.
Wow.
You can hear me breathing from like fucking a mile away.
All right, we ready to get this going?
Yeah.
Oh
do this
wait,
shit.
hold on.
I'm so goddamn mad about my mic, dude. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with it. Or my headset. That's annoying.
What kind is it?
It's supposed to be a good one. It's a Razer.
I mean, stop right there. Razer.
I've never had an issue with Razer before. But actually, come to think of it, I don't own any Razer shit except for this.
I've got a Razer mouse. I just got a one of those MMO mice.
Actually, that's not true. My fight stick's a Razer, and like that hasn't had any issues.
I feel like if you make things, you should make one thing and then just do that.
You cut out a little bit there. What'd you say?
I said if you make things, you should make one thing and then just let that be that.
So that's it then? Just so Corsair should just make like,
Yes.
I don't know, mice?
Whatever the thing is that they make, they should make that thing. Yeah, because they make like everything. You can build like an all Corsair PC.
What's wrong with that?
It's just, you know, they make some things better than others, so they just stick to the thing they know how to make. like Razer. Like they make mice, they make good mice, and that's about it. Okay, well, I think we're ready.
All right, hit that shit.
We're on YouTube in 1440p. Not that it matters for the fucking podcast, but I just let people know.
Still cool.
We have higher quality on YouTube, so.
Yeah, so you guys can hear me breathing into the microphone at 1440p.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my god, I'm eating ramen. If you can hear it in the microphone.
Nice. No, I can't hear it.
My gain, you can't hear it. I could hear it. I have my headset plugged like directly into my mic, so it's picking up everything the mic picks up, and I can just hear my microphone.
Wow.
Yeah, it sounds like macaroni and cheese.
No, I think there's like a gate on it, so it like cuts off if it's not loud enough.
Oh, that's got to be it then. That's why I could hear myself breathing and like nobody else.
Yeah, I think Discord cuts all that out.
That's good. That's good for me then, because I want everyone to hear my wet macaroni noise.
Wet macaroni noises. Here's volume 3 of Wet Macaroni Noises. You're gonna love track 7. Okay.
I'm ready. Hit that shit.
Okay. What's up, everybody? This is Podcast Gameoverse, episode 167. For Thursday, January 11, 2024. The first show of 2024. I am Wasabi Ice Cream, joined as always by Rick.
Yo, what up, everybody? I've been out of commission for a while because some bullshit at work, but we're all good now. My schedule is back to normal, so I am here to talk about some video games, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I don't know why I'm excited. Nothing fucking got announced, but I'm excited to talk about the stuff I've been playing. Start where you always start, man. Tell people what you've been playing and why you're wrong about Dead Space.
Okay, look, man. So,
tell us how you felt about Dead Space.
Playing Dead Space Remake, finished it, played it for the first time ever, and yeah, look, I like the game. Okay. I think the problem is that I'm not typically into these like survival horror shit.
I remember you specifically saying I don't like this game.
No. I didn't. As it went on, I felt like it dragged on a little too long. So I was starting to get a little done with it. But like it's a phenomenal experience, especially the audio design and the atmosphere, like visually, audio, incredible. Like they've nailed all of that. But then there's the part where you play it. And like that part I'm just not as into as much. So
yeah.
That was my thing. That was my thing with Dead Space. Like, I felt like it was just a little too long, and the enemies were just annoying as fuck. After that, to a point, I was just like, "Oh, this is annoying as fuck, man."
Okay.
Like the sound design of the enemies is great because it has the 3D audio shit, so you can hear everything that's around you, right? Yeah. However, the problem is like the other sounds are happening at the same time. There's a whole fucking soundtrack playing, and there's like other noises and sounds and stuff that's like immersing you into the shit. So you can't hear the fucking enemies over the fucking the music and the sound effects and everything. And so you get into a lot of bullshit scenarios where like it'll pop out an obvious enemy in front of you, and you go to take that guy out, and you start like backstepping, and then all of a sudden there's a motherfucker behind you. You're like, oh shit, and that motherfucker kills you. And then the checkpoints are fucked up. Like the checkpoints don't save where you thought they should have saved. So you go back like 15 whole minutes, and then there's like cutscenes that you have to like stand there and watch again, and all that shit until you get back to where you were. And then you remember like, okay, there's a guy that's gonna pop out behind me. It's like a lot of it was like trial and error, where you walk into a room, bullshit enemies spawn, and you die. And then you get back to that point and remember what the fucking enemies were, and then you take it out the next try. A lot of it was that for me. So, yeah. And then by the end, I was just over it, man. I was just done. So
That's a bummer. You had a very negative experience with Dead Space than I did. Well, at the same time though, I like survival horror type games, so
yeah.
Like that's it too. That's a bummer.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same reason why I haven't played like Resident Evil until fairly recently, and I haven't played this until just now. So it's I'm typically not into these types of games. But you know, I tried playing games that I'm usually not into just so I can maybe maybe this is the one that'll turn me.
Have you played the RE4 remake yet?
Yeah.
Yeah? What'd you think of that?
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, you enjoyed it? Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Oh no, wait, not RE4. Not RE4. No, I haven't played that one. I played RE1 and 2. Did I play 2? Yeah, I played 2. I played RE1 and 2.
Okay. You should play RE4 remake. I think you would like that because it's RE4 shifted to more of like a horror action type of game. Like
yeah.
More so than this. So you might like that a bit more. Pick it up if it's on sale or something. I think you'd like it.
Yeah. I feel like they're different styles of game because the thing about Dead Space is it does the Metroid thing of like you go into an area and then everything's like kind of like locked by either like an ability or a key card or something that it wants you to like backtrack, and you have side missions that want you to go certain areas and do certain things. And yeah, there was a point where I was like, okay, I unlocked some new abilities, I got new key cards, I got new stuff. I should do some backtracking and then try to see if there's anything new I can find. And that thought crossed my mind, and then I opened up the map and I was like, oh fuck this. Because the map is terrible. Absolutely terrible.
The map's like a fucking mess.
The map's a mess because there's different floors, there's different sectors, and nothing connects with anything in a logical way. So you try to follow an elevator to the next floor, and it's just nothing there on that floor, and you're like, okay, where the fuck does this go? Like, how do I like navigate this shit? And then on top of the fact is like I realized I started to backtrack a little bit, and like everything respawns in like different ways, and it like tries to keep everything fresh which is one of the things I like about the atmosphere that it keeps, is that you go into like an area you've been before, but it'll be slightly different than how you remember it. Either like the lights will be out or the lights will be flickering, and like setting up this like mood and atmosphere that something's gonna happen or something's different, even if nothing does happen. But enemies usually do like respawn, so it's just annoying that you back through these areas you've already been, and then there's gonna be all these enemies again, and you're just gonna waste more resources than it might be worth, especially since you're going to get lost because the map is fucking dog shit. So I was just not gonna do it.
Yeah. Oh, that's a bummer. Oh no, it sounds like you're kind of mid about the game, so like that's fine. I'm gonna play it eventually, and I'll see what I feel about it. Someone who likes these types of games, so stay tuned for that, everybody.
Yeah.
You also played Stray Souls a little bit too, right? How was that? That one looked pretty interesting.
Yeah. So Stray Gods. I put Stray Souls. I did put Stray Souls. Stray Souls is a different game.
Yeah, Stray Souls is like that survival horror game too. So
yeah, no, this one's called Stray Gods.
Okay.
It's a how do I explain what this is? It's like a Telltale game, but it's a musical.
Oh, I've heard of this one. Yeah, it's like a musical fantasy, but like it being a musical is like canon to like the story or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's really weird. Yeah, I've heard of this one. This one seemed
the
more than Stray Souls did. So
you know when I first loaded this game up, I was like, and they started singing. I was like, I don't know if I don't know if this is gonna be. I don't know if I'm gonna be into this.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. Something about it just hit me very negative. It wasn't the other thing is it's not animated at all, so it's very limited frames of animation. It's almost like a slideshow. So I think that was the other thing. It was just very, it just seemed very low for that. It's an indie game, of course, so you know they're working with what they got. But yeah, something about that just kind of put me off a little bit until the story gets going and you find out what it is. And what it is imagine imagine The Wolf Among Us, right? But
Right.
instead of fables, it's Greek mythology, and it's a musical. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm into that. I
So
fucks with that.
it's
Sounds
basically like that. That's the closest analog I have for it. So, but you don't find that out until uh it really gets going, where like a chick walks in, and her name's Calliope, and then my first thought was, oh, Calliope, that's it's like the Greek goddess or whatever. But I still, because I go into stuff blind, so I
yeah.
didn't know. All I knew about this was that it was a musical. Part of me thought it was a rhythm game. It is not.
No, it's
So
not. It's straight up like just like a Telltale game, but like a musical.
yeah. So, but then Hermes walks in, and then I'm like, oh shit, there's some Greek mythology happening here. And the way they intertwine their story with Greek mythology, like intertwines the lore in such a way that it's kind of like Metal Gear almost. How like Metal Gear takes actual historical events and then meshes in its Metal Gear bullshit, and you don't know where the line is. Like you don't know what's like. It blends it very well. That's kind of what this game is doing. Where like the writing is like really good. I'm not saying in terms of like the character writing or the dialogue. That's like I think it's just okay, but the writing in terms of just the lore that it's weaving in, I'm like super interested in all the characters and like what's happening in terms of like from a Greek mythology perspective. And they weave in that stuff really, really good. It's really. I'm a sucker for like Greek mythology. I like love that shit, man. Like classic God of War, and like all that shit, man. It's just that was like my shit. So you give me some Greek mythology, and then you have like actual good lore along to go along with it. I'm like, oh, I'm here. So once I found out that that's what they were doing, I was like way more into it than I was in the beginning, having not known what the fuck it was. And
Well, that's good.
yeah, what happens is when gods die, they can pass on their godhood to someone else. So you're just by yourself singing, and then like Calliope, who's supposed to be like the muse god, like the music god or whatever, she hears you singing, and it's like, hey, you shouldn't be so sad for a teen. Uh, and then like she like follows you to your house, and then she dies, and then you're like, what the fuck is going on? And then Athena is like the big boss, and she's like, hey, you killed Calliope. And you're like, no, I didn't. And the whole thing is like you trying to prove your innocence
Oh, that's cool. That's interesting.
within 1 week. So I think one of the mechanics is I guess it does the persona thing where you can kind of choose once you like get to a certain point, there's a map of people or places that you can go check out to kind of like investigate. And they give you, I guess, 1 week to find out who the killer is before your punishment is you die yourself. So and every time you pick a thing to check out, 1 day passes. And
Ooh.
I think that's how I think there's a gameplay element there. I haven't seen it through to the end yet. I'm close to the end. I streamed like most of the game, but with these games I always get a little iffy on like streaming the whole thing, because I don't know, I want people to experience it themselves. So
yeah. No, it sounds good. Like, now I gotta ask you, because it's a musical. Like, how is the music? Like,
So-
is the music good or?
the music is okay. It's very it's just it's very like sing-songy thing. It's hard to explain.
Musical,
Yeah,
like
I know it's a musical, but
a Broadway musical.
there's not a lot of variety in it. Like there's like Persephone is like the queen of the underworld, and you go to her thing, and she runs a club, and in the club you go to, like they're playing like EDM and shit. Like, oh shit, her song's gonna be like fucking some like EDM, or at the very most like some like rap shit. And it's just not. It goes into the same fucking sing-songy shit that everyone else is doing. So I was like, man, this music's not really hitting the way I want it to hit. Yeah, like it's kind of not great. There was one song that was like, because who is it? Persephone, who's like this like big beautiful black lady with big tits, and you're like, oh, her song, she's gonna have some like Aretha Franklin shit, maybe some like Beyonce. I mean, just like like play into it, man. And then like, nope, like same shit. But hers does. Hers does get into hers does have a little twist. So you can make choices during the song, and that changes, I guess, the tone of the song into your thing. So, but I didn't get into it enough to really see all of the options there. But there was a point where like Persephone's song was that like sing-songy shit, and then I made a choice and it flips, and the flip was so hilarious. Well, I might be able to find it in the stream here. It flips and it's so hilarious, man, just the way it comes in. So just like listen to this segment here.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So Persephone's as Aphrodite's story is she was like tortured. Like, so the gods, when they pass on their thing to someone else, all of their memories carry forward, not immediately, but it starts coming in slowly. So I think like Aphrodite, every 20 years or so, she like kills herself and like passes on her thing to someone else. And then like the next 20 years, when those memories start coming back, she can't handle it, and she's just like, it's like basically like a suicide basically. So she has this like tradition where she like passes on her shit and like has this like huge event of it. It's like very like traditional, or it's like a very like, it's a big thing for her. But so here it is, like it's like flipping now.
My tongue for so long, not such a fan of this old plan, but who's to say that you're wrong? Now should I gotta erase a memory when there's no chance of changing history? This guy that's
So, if I'm understanding this correctly, she kills herself, passes her shit on to somebody else, and they're just like fine for like 20 years until the memory of them killing themselves and Y comes back. And then they just repeat that cycle.
What? Yeah. This is out of nowhere. Yeah, that was me commenting on the thing, but yeah, like the story is really fucking good, man. Like I was surprised by the story, because it's
Yeah.
interweaved in the actual like mythology very well. So yeah, that's part of how these guys um like survive so long, I guess, is that they can, whenever they die, they can just choose a new, they can
Like a new
choose,
host.
yeah, a new host, and they can pass their shit on, but in order to do that they have to die themselves. So that's why a lot of the gods that you know, as they are told in the tales, they don't exist that way in like modern days, because it's not typically the same person. And like
Yeah.
people who were like brother and sister and mother and daughter and shit are not necessarily that anymore, but they still carry that same, because they all know their history still, so they all carry that same respect for each other as if they were actually their mother or whatever. It's like it's very well written um for something like yeah, I just went into this blind and I was like, oh, this is actually really really fucking good. um so yeah, I strongly recommend this just for like the story. Like if you're into like Greek mythology and a good story, yeah, the story's just really fucking good.
I'm
So
into it. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out then. It sounds cool.
yeah,
Would you
even
say the
though
musical stuff is like a help or a hindrance to the story?
uh neutral.
Neutral?
Neutral. There's times where it's like it's funny, like it's never like, they're never like song, you know, it's a musical, so it's always like part, like the music always contributes to the story. And I guess you can make choices during the music to sway certain people into doing certain things or
So is the
whatever.
whole game told in like a musical setting? Like they're singing, like it's a musical, like they're singing all the time, like an opera?
No, there's like
Or
there's
so there's musical
story,
numbers.
and then your power, your god power is you can make people sing to like get information from them or
Gotcha.
whatever. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
That's I can put up with that. I don't know if
yeah.
I can put up if the whole game was like singing and like music. I don't know if I can put up with that for the entire course of the
No,
game. But if it's
no.
like a choose your own adventure game with musical numbers in it, I can get behind that.
Yeah, most of it actually is not singing. So,
Okay, I'll check it out then. That sounds dope.
um, yeah.
I played quite a bit of shit. I'm trying to clear up my backlog, but that's not stopping me from buying new games. So like, talk about it very briefly. I bought Asuras Wrath yesterday, like literally last night.
Okay.
It was on the Xbox store. So here's the thing, man. Xbox Series X and Series S, the series of Xboxes, are backwards compatible with 360 games, and most of them are available on the Microsoft Store. Now, Ashura's Wrath is notorious for having very egregious DLC. Like the ending of the game is locked behind DLC. Like it's very egregious. It's really bad.
Shit.
There's so much DLC. Like I'm gonna go into that right now, but so I never want to pick it up because I'm like, I'm not gonna buy the game if like the DLC is like gonna finish it and it's not on sale. Because like the game goes on sale all the time, the DLC doesn't always do it. And sometimes the DLC goes on sale, but the game's still regular price. I'm like, I'm gonna buy it. It never goes on sale at the same time, which is really frustrating. But yesterday, there were two different sales going on, and it crossed over. So the Ashura's Wrath base game and all the DLC were on sale. To give you an idea, like how egregious this is, the base game was on sale for like $3.99. I think it's normally like $20. And the episode 4 DLC, which is like the last episode of the game, where this is like, here's the big reveal, here's the ending, here's like the end of the game. It's like the last chapter of the game, just locked behind a paywall. That's normally $5. I was on sale for $3.49. To give you an idea, like
Okay.
where they're trying to make their money from. So I paid almost as much for that one piece of DLC that I did for the whole game. And there's a couple other like extra episodes that are like alternate like perspective of certain parts of the story. I didn't get too far into it because I didn't want to spoil it for myself, but each piece of DLC has like a description of what it is. So there's two that are animated as like traditional anime that are like other perspectives. So they're named like episode like 11.5, episode 15.5. So it's episodes you've already played from another perspective with a different animation style. So those are like $1 each. And there's another one that's called a Lost episode. That's like a Street Fighter crossover where you fight Ryu from Street Fighter.
What?
So I picked that shit up. It was like $1 too. So all together, all the episodes, all the DLC, the base game, I paid with tax. I paid like about $12.50 for it. So I played a little bit of the first episode last night. And it's fucking wild. Like this part that's playing right there on the screen, that's what I played through last night.
Yeah.
Knucklepucker saying they should make a definitive edition of the game. I agree, because it was a pain in the ass having to like buy everything separately. But I got everything that the game needs to come with. And I played through the first part of it, and I'm like, this is fucking wild. There's like spaceships, and you're like shooting at like these different like creatures. They're called Goma. And it basically feels like a Star Fox almost. And you're just shooting at all these things, and there's like cutscenes mixed in with it, and you can't like not pay attention to it because the cutscenes will randomly like shift to like a QuickTime event or shift back to gameplay like super suddenly. It tries to like mix it all together. So this is a game you got to pay attention to, even when like the cutscenes are playing, you want to pay attention because it could ask you to do something. I haven't fucked up any of the QuickTime events. I don't know what happens if you fuck them up. I assume the game would keep going because it'd be really fucking annoying if you fuck up a QuickTime event and it starts over because it's all just like a cutscene.
Oh yeah.
But I was playing through it. It said I fucked up a couple of them. Like I finished it, and at the end of it, it gave me like a synchronicity score, I guess, for like doing everything in time, and it wasn't like perfect. So I think like I did fuck them up, but the game keeps going. I couldn't tell it was all going so fast. But so far, I'm like, this is kind of interesting. But everyone tells me like how great it is, how good the story is. Everyone tells me how incredible it is. It feels like you're playing an anime and all this stuff. And I can't wait to get to that. I only played the very first part, so I can't wait to see like what else comes up. I'm probably gonna do that over the week, and I'll have more to talk about at the end of the week. But yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. That's what I'm playing right now. Despite the fact that like I'm trying to clear up my backlog, like this was too good of a deal for me to like leave there. So I wanted to try this for a while. So I'll have more to say next week, most likely. I also finished Dragon Quest XI. Like finally finished it. After owning the game for like 2 years, I finally finished it.
What was your end time?
It is a good game, and I think my end time was like 100 something hours. Like,
Shit.
I take my time with RPGs. Like, I take my time like grinding. I take my time like looking around at things. I don't like to rush RPGs. RPGs are my time to like relax, unwind. RPGs are a very like comfort game for me. I don't play them to like. I don't play them the same way I play Devil May Cry. I don't play them the same way I play like fighting games, where I'm trying to like push myself and test myself. With RPGs, it's like, no, this is like my comfort game. This is like, some people relax by like sitting back and like knitting, right? This is my video game version of like sitting back and knitting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like these games, I play these games to be like comfortable, to unwind, and to just, these are my like turn my brain off games. Even though like RPGs, you know, not a great game to turn your brain off at, but you know what I mean. Like it's not very demanding of me for my gaming abilities, so that's why they're my comfort games. And I take a while to finish them because of that. And Dragon Quest XI is still an excellent game. It's an incredible JRPG. It's traditional as fuck, but I made this comparison before, so everyone who's listened to it is probably sick of it. It's vanilla ice cream, but like really fucking good vanilla ice cream, right? It's like high quality, the best vanilla ice cream you can get. It's incredible for that. If you like JRPGs, it's isn't gonna do anything really new that reinvents the wheel, but it does the traditional JRPG thing really, really fucking well. It's refined and crafted to borderline perfection, I would argue. It's really fun. The story's nice. The story takes some twists and turns I've never seen in a game before. Like it's incredible the way the game story plays out. Spoiler, but not really, because that's kind of part of the game. The bad guy like wins. So the first half of the game, you're trying to get this like mystical item. Bad guy beats you to it. He kills someone in your party. And the second half of the game is like you trying to like save the world again after he's like won and taken over. So very like Final Fantasy 5 or 6, I want to say, with Kefka like winning halfway through. But after you do all that, you find out that's not the whole game. After you beat him, you beat the big bad guy. Minor spoiler, timey-wimey stuff happens. You find out there's like a device that can take you back in time to stop him from ever winning. And when you do that, it actually takes you back. But you're gonna lose all this shit that you did, right? Like these characters have like developed. These characters have learned a lot about themselves, about each other. But you do it to save not just the the party member you lost, but also all the people the bad guy killed along the way. So you go back in time, you do that, and those characters that you can travel back. Your friends can't go with you. So you're still at this like high end game level, but all your teammates are like at the level they were when they were at that point in the game when you travel back, which is really cool.
Shit.
Even their equipment's still the same. It's really interesting the way it does it. I wasn't expecting it to do that. Like I traveled back and I'm like, I didn't have a save from that point to go back to, but if I did and I checked it out, I'm sure it would have been 1-to-1. Like my items, the characters, like their levels, their abilities, it all would have been 1-to-1. And the game does a great job, like speeding things up so your characters can catch up with you really quickly. But it's really cool the way it does it. And there's a whole other game after that, from that point, where things take a different course of events. There's another big bad guy to fight, and you find out some shit from like there's this ancient hero the character talking about. You find out what really happened to them. It's really cool the fucking way it's such a grand scale of a game. I felt like I played 3 seasons of a TV show, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah,
it's really cool. It's told in 3 parts, right? Like that first half of the game, bad guy wins, second half of the game, and then the traveling back in time and like fixing all that. I felt like I played 3 seasons of a show, or like I played through like 3 different movies in a trilogy. It's really cool. The abilities are all really fun. It's the game's got so much character. Everybody has their own like motivations and reasons for joining your party, and finding out everyone's backstory is so cool. Rob, the old man, I slept on him a bit, but he's got such a cool backstory, and his like little character moment is so like heavy. Oh my god, it's really good. I was impressed with how much I like this game. It is seriously one of the best JRPGs out there. It does everything so well. I would argue it's almost perfect, like 11 out of 10 for me. No, fuck, it is perfect. It's a perfect JRPG. Like it does everything I like about old school JRPGs without any of that jank. It does a lot to try to respect your time, let you play how you want to. It's really easy to just build yourself up, and it's fun to like grind, and it's a great game. I recommend everyone should pick it up. And it's fucking cheap right now, so go get it. Plus the soundtrack is amazing. It's an orchestral soundtrack, so it sounds great. It feels like I'm playing a fairy tale. I'm trying to finish Bravely Default 2. That one I also bought 2 years ago, a little bit after I bought this one. And with Bravely Default 2, I had to start that one over. I didn't start over Dragon Quest. I picked up where I left off because the game does a great job like redescribing to you what you just did. Bravely Default, not so much. And also because Bravely Default has such a very specific gameplay system, I had to start that over. And I'm having fun with it. It's still a great game. I love the Bravely Default system. It's so cool. Defaulting and then using those turns you built up to like just wipe out enemies. The job system is incredible. You can mix and match abilities from different jobs to make some really stupid builds, which is great because the game is fucking hard. Like the game knows you're gonna do some stupid shit with the job system, so it makes it very hard to compensate for it. There's a lot of thought, even like regular fights, like random enemies, take some thought to how you're gonna finish the fight off. So I like it a lot. It's definitely up there in one of my favorite JRPGs. I'll have more to say about it once I finish it. I literally just caught up to like where I was when I stopped playing it originally. So from here on going forward, everything I'm playing is going to be new to me. So I'm excited to see where the story goes from there. But this game's incredible. I've talked about it before. The job system's fantastic. The Brave default system's fantastic. If you like a game that lets you like really be creative with your party composition and your characters, like a game that lets you like min-max to an insane amount, this game is the game for you. If you like a game that lets you like customize your party in all kinds of crazy different ways to make a build or a party layout the way you want it to be, this game will do it for you.
Shit. I'm looking for a new RPG to play, but I think
Bravely Default 2. Bravely Default 2 or Dragon Quest 11. I would recommend either of those.
I'm gonna wait for Final Fantasy 16.
Why?
You mean why?
Why?
Because I feel like if I play an RPG, I'm gonna be playing it until that game comes out anyway.
No one's talking about Final Fantasy 16 right now. Like that game
Not
came
anymore,
out.
yeah. It was nominated for RPG. I think it won. Didn't it win? Oh no, it didn't win. That was Baldur's Gate.
No,
but it would have won if it wasn't for Baldur's Gate.
I don't know. I'm gonna wait till that comes out on PC too. I'll pick it up. But I like turn-based RPGs. And Bravely Default and Dragon Quest 11 are some of the best. I'll play Final Fantasy 16 when it comes out, but I'm not going to play it like an RPG. I'm going to play it like I play Devil May Cry. So, I'll check that out when it comes out. And here's a sleeper hit I wasn't expecting to like. I saw this game on a random YouTube video. YouTube recommended to me. YouTube recommended some random short of like some streamer, like playing some other streamer. And in the like preview, it had like this puzzle game. And I was like, oh, what's that puzzle game? So I clicked on it. It's called Suika. I have it in the show notes. You can click on it. It's a browser game. You can buy it on Switch for like $2.
Oh, I know what it is.
This game is fucking incredible, dude. I'm addicted to it. I am so addicted to it. Have you played it?
No, but Koseki Bijou has their own version of it.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, well. she's a Hololive VTuber.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So this game is dope. It's a falling blocks like puzzle game, kind of like Tetris. But the gimmick here is that they're fruits, right? And to get a Tetris, to clear up some of them, you have to build up a fruit into a watermelon. So they start as like cherries, and they turn into like, I think those are apples, and grapes, oranges. They just get bigger and bigger fruits until they turn to a watermelon. The trick, though, is that it keeps building up, and you have to really plan out like where to put stuff, where to place stuff, because you got to think in advance. Like whatever you put down, if you don't expand it something else, it's gonna keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger until you like pop it. And it's really cool, man. I was addicted to it. I'm trying to like get 2 watermelons on screen and pop both of them, but I haven't been able to do that quite yet because they take up so much space. It's a lot of fun, dude. I'm addicted to it. I can't find a paid version that's like this one on the browser on my phone. The closest I could find is there's one on Switch that's like $3, and the physics and stuff are similar to the iPhone one or the browser one that I put in the link there. So I'm thinking of picking that up eventually, but it's so addicting, dude. It's seriously one of the funnest puzzle games I've played in a long time. I don't play a lot of puzzle games, I'll be honest here, but this is like, it's a blast, dude. I'm surprised how much fun I'm having with it. You said some VTuber like has their own version of this?
Yeah, Koseki Bijou. She's a rock. So she has a version that's like a bunch of rocks.
Okay, I can fucks with that. Like,
yeah,
it's seriously like so much fun, dude. I played it so much the last like week or two that I had to talk about it. This game is so much fun. It's I can only find the browser version. That's the one I've been playing. That's the one I've gotten used to. There's some other like knockoffs and stuff on the iPhone store, but I want to find like an official one, like the browser one that I like. What else is there? Like the closest I've seen is there's one on the Switch store, and I think there's one on the same ones on Steam for like $3. I'll probably end up picking that up eventually, but I don't know when that's gonna be.
When you get a game like this, how does it like? Obviously, someone is responsible for this, right? Someone's the creator of this.
Yeah.
So how is it that there can be so many knockoffs
I have no idea, dude. I seriously have no idea like how this is a thing. And the game name is generic. It's called Suika, which I guess means watermelon in Japanese. It's literally just called the watermelon game.
Yeah.
So when I type that into like anything, I get all kinds of different games. This is the closest I could find to like an official version. But even then, I'm not even sure if it's really the original official version of this game because I can't find anything about it. Granted, I'm not spending a lot of time looking stuff up. I'm spending more time playing the game, but yeah, I don't know how so many knockoffs can exist. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah. I always like
But
when that happens because it's like, yeah, who's the creator? Who is it? Oh, we don't know. Like,
yeah, and the game's fucking fun as shit, dude. I'm having a blast with it. I'm playing it right now when I open the link up because now I'm addicted. But no, it's good. If you like puzzle games, this is seriously like one of the funnest puzzle games I've played in a long time. It's up there with like Tetris with how addicting it is. Like, it's Tetris with a twist, is what I like to call it. It's really really cool. So yeah, play that. Those are the games I've been addicted to since the last time we talked about the show. Not too much to talk about, really. PlayStation Plus games for January released for Extra and Premium. We have Tiny Tina's Wonderlands and Next Level Edition for PS4 and PS5. Resident Evil 2 is coming to PS4 and PS5. Hard Space Shipbreakers is coming for PS5. Lego City Undercover for PS4. Just Cause 3 for PS4. Session Skate Sim, what is that?
it's like Skate, but it's
yeah?
like indie. Yeah, I didn't know that was even on console, to be
I didn't know that was
honest.
a thing. Is it good?
It was in early access for quite some time. It's not quite as it's not quite as much a video game as Skate was. It's
Yeah.
more of like, here's load into this area and do some tricks, and that's it. But it controls like it's trying to be like an indie version of Skate, but more.
I played a bit of Skate because all the Skate games are on a Game Pass, so I played a bit of the first Skate and I liked it a lot. Like,
Yeah, it's
I'm not a
dope.
skater. I've never skated before, but that's the closest I've gotten to like understanding like the appeal of it. You know, you're
Yeah,
trying to like when you see a spot and you're like, I'm gonna nail this like trick here, and you start over and over and over trying to do it. And then when you finally do it, like the adrenaline rush of pulling it off, you're like, yes, dude. And when you go to like competitions in the game and it's like, oh, I can do this trick, it's gonna worth a lot of points, but if I don't pull it off, it's gonna fuck me. Like that rush, that decision making is so good. Um, so if this is similar to that, like I can get into it, but I can also just go play Skate.
yeah.
um,
It's like Skate, but it doesn't have the video game part. So
yeah, PlayStation doesn't have that luxury. Like they don't have backwards compatibility, so they can't play Skate. So
yeah, it
um,
might be on. It might be on the PlayStation Now.
maybe, but that's like you're streaming that, right? So
Yeah.
that's not gonna feel good for a game like Skate that requires such like careful like inputs and timing. I can't imagine playing a game like that on streaming.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the rest of the games. Shadow Tactics: Blades of the Shogun is coming out for PS4. Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song PS4 and PS5. Surviving the Aftermath PS4. And for PlayStation Premium Classics, we got Rallycross for PS4 and PS5. Star Wars Episode 1: The Phantom Menace for PS4 and PS5. I prefer Star Wars Jedi Power Battles. I think that was the better Phantom Menace game, but whatever.
I don't even know.
So Jedi Power Battles is like some random like
Was that like the fighting game?
no, it's
No.
it's a fucking Phantom Menace game. Like it's a Phantom Menace game. It tells the story of Phantom Menace.
Oh.
But Jedi Power Battles is like an isometric like beat 'em up almost.
Oh.
I remember playing it as a kid and thinking it was fun as shit. Like
Like a Diablo.
not a Diablo. It's like a beat 'em up. Like there's no real like RPG elements to it. You find power ups and stuff. I said it was isometric, but I might be wrong on that. Hold on, I'm gonna put it in the chat. Where the fuck is the stream chat? There it is. Here's a long play. So thank you, Long Play Archive, for your. But it seriously tells the entire story of like Phantom Menace. Like there's the It starts out with the Trade Federation battleship, like that whole segment, and then the fight with Darth Maul at the end of it. Like it's straight up just Phantom Menace.
IGN has a review of it. Is this a review or is this just an opening? Okay.
The thing I put in was a 2-hour like gameplay archive, so you could like skip a little bit through it to kind of see the gameplay. But it's got like a point system. It's straight up like a beat 'em up, like, but it's also got some platforming to it. And there's power ups in it, so like his lightsaber's like long as shit. There's a power up that makes your lightsaber longer, so you can like attack more enemies at the same time. It was pretty fun. I remember liking it as a kid.
That looks insane how long that is.
Yeah, I remember liking it as a kid, and it was like up to 4 players, I think, maybe 2 players.
This actually does look good. So it's like an adventure, but it's like top down.
Yeah, it's level based, and like you get points for like fucking up guys, and there's like a block, and you can, if you block at the right time, I remember you could like bounce like blaster bolts and stuff back. Like it was cool. It was cool as shit. Now what does like Phantom Menace on PS1 look like?
Jesus, man. Remember when games had points?
Yeah.
Shit.
And I remember too, you could earn points to get more lives. The game had lives.
Yeah.
That's the credits are. The game had lives, and you can earn points to get more lives. And you could beat the game in like 2 hours, but if you lost all your lives for the end of it, like you get to start over again. Like that's how old school it is. So here's the Phantom Menace game. And you can see already just like how less exciting this looks. It's got that like tank control thing, and like it's still like overhead view, but it's got this tank control like movement to it. So I don't think you could do this with 2 players, but
see, that was one of the reasons why I never got into PS1 was just this shit. This fucking
trying to figure out how to make games work in 3D.
Yeah, but like N64 had it figured out
For the most part.
very well.
For the most part.
As well as it could be for that time. I mean, like it wasn't until PlayStation had the DualShock where we had some real camera control, but even then motherfuckers didn't know how to use that for cameras.
I will argue that we didn't really understand camera controls until like maybe the PS2 Xbox generation.
Yeah.
We finally just sort of perfect like 3D games.
But the DualShock was the having 2 analog sticks was the turning point.
Yeah.
Or it was like the genius move of, oh, yeah.
And that's what I mean. Like, there's a lot of like PS1 and N64 games that didn't age well. Like, you could argue like, well, how great like Ocarina of Time is, but I will argue, and I will take this. This is a hill I'm prepared to die on. The 3DS remake of Ocarina of Time is a better version of the game to play.
Yes,
like, it's all around better. It's a better, higher frame
They're both
rate,
bad though. I would say. There's a lot of moments. It's better, definitely, but I think they're both. There's a lot of moments in that game where it's very obtuse in what you're supposed to be doing, or why you're doing it.
Yeah, to an extent. I'll have to replay it again and see like how obtuse it is, and just play it like objectively, like not knowing where to go, and just.
You have to watch someone who actually hasn't played it before. And then every time you explain to them, oh no, you have to, because that was like
I will argue. Yeah, I will argue. Like I remember like that puzzle with the chicken to wake up Marin's dad.
Yeah.
I just remember that. Like that's something the game does not tell you like to do. You wouldn't even think to like.
Yeah. That whole section, because you walk into that area, and there's like nothing you can do, and then you have to like leave and come back so she can give you the chicken.
And the chicken doesn't like time doesn't pass in towns, so you have to be outside the field for time to pass and the chicken hatch. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, not great design actually. Yeah, fuck Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, I made it to that part with someone who's never played the game, and then every time I had to explain to them, no, see, okay, you have to like walk out and then come back, and then time passes in this area, and then the chicken hatches, and then you go over here, and it's like,
Yeah, that sounds fucking crazy. That sounds fucking crazy to explain. You're right. Um, yeah, you're right. And then the
but
original game with the water temple was a fucking nightmare because for some fucking reason, the iron boots were like an equipable like gear and not like an item.
yeah,
So you couldn't just like hotkey it to like a button on the controller. You had to like physically pause the game, move 2 screens to the right,
yeah,
press A up 2 times to select the boots, hit A twice and then beat it back out. I remember that movement. You had to do it so many fucking times
yeah.
during that entire dungeon.
Yeah, a lot of people complain about like the layouts of the water temple, but I thought it was fine. Like if you just have if
It's
you
fine.
maintain if you go through it systematically, you have a fine time, which is how I do every dungeon. It's like, okay, here we are
Yeah.
at first floor. But yeah, no, the biggest problem was the fucking like the boots equipping and unequipping every time.
Yeah, that's the thing that would throw you off. Like that's the thing that makes it way fucking harder than it needs to be. I mean, the N64 fixes that, or the 3DS version fixes that by just making it an item, so you can just like push a button,
Yeah,
button on some portion of your screen, and then equip the boots,
yeah.
and then call it a fucking day. Yeah, dude. Like, there are some good PlayStation classics out there, but I think Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, is not one of them. I'm sorry to
No,
anyone who's like played this game. Anyone who likes this game and grew up with it, never played Jedi Power Battles because like that's the superior Episode 1 game.
I'm just curious how they select these games because if there were any games that I thought you would never see on like the backwards compatibility, it'd be like a fucking Star Wars game. Like it'd be like something that'd be caught in like a licensing hell. You know what I'm saying? Because Star Wars is fucking. This would I would imagine that this would be a game that'd be caught in licensing hell.
You'd think so, but
Like there's so many other games.
I like to think because of Disney. Say what you want about Disney, they're pretty savvy like business. They're pretty savvy business. They have really good lawyers, so I'm sure like when they got everything from Lucasfilms and LucasArts, because people seem to forget that LucasArts like makes a lot of these games. So for the most part, these are done in house. Not they didn't have to license them out to like Activision or EA. Like some of them did, but these earlier ones are done by LucasArts. So when Disney bought Star Wars and they bought Lucasfilms, they got LucasArts too. So I'm sure Disney owns the rights to a lot of these older games without having to like, do a lot of like legal work. And for at that point, it's just PlayStation asking like, hey, this game that you released like 30 years ago that you're not making any more money on, here's a way to make more money on it by licensing it to us to use on our service. And I'm sure that's what happened. Again, I'm just speculating. I'm not a lawyer. I don't work for Disney, but I'm just speculating.
You'd have to make it sound real sweet of a deal. Like
How
how
sweet,
many
really, though?
people?
Like, think about it. Think about it, though. Like, what's Disney gonna do with Star Wars Episode 1: Phantom Menace on PS1? What are they gonna do with it?
Like nothing, but also
Exactly.
I don't
They can just, like, sit
imagine.
there, like, someone can come up and be like, "Hey, that game that you own that you didn't make, you didn't put any money into, you just own the license to. Here's some money to let us like use it." Like, it sounds like an easy money thing to me. Like,
Yeah, I guess from PlayStation, but they're not. I
well,
feel
for
like
Star Wars too. Like, here's a big lump sum or like a monthly installment or a yearly installment, whatever. Let us put this game on our service. Like, I'm sure it was pretty lucrative for Disney and for PlayStation. It's like, oh, we have Star Wars games on our service now. So
yeah, but this Star Wars game is just
yeah, this one sucks. Yeah, they should have got Jedi Power Battles. Is Jedi Power Battles on PlayStation Classics? Because if it's already on there, just play that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. But yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
it's on PlayStation
These
Classics.
all the videos of this are from like recent like everything on YouTube is from within like the last 1 or 2 years, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
Like this one's 4 months ago on this game.
Yeah. Let's see what happens with that. I mean, also Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection that came out on like PS4. What's that doing on I guess you could argue it's a classic because it has all those classic Street Fighter games on it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. Legend of Mana on PS4. Secret of Mana on PS4 as well. So check that out. If you got that PlayStation Premium Classics. And then some quickie news. SAG-AFTRA strike deal for AI voice acting. Ah, God. SAG-AFTRA strikes deal for AI voice acting licensing in video games at CES 2024. So, yeah, that thing that SAG-AFTRA was like fighting for not to happen, they signed off on it happening. I don't know how this is going to affect voice actors, honestly. I see how it's going to affect development. Like, you know, you have those background NPCs just doing stuff. Using AI for that sounds like a great way to save time and money.
Yeah.
But I don't know what that's going to do for voice actors. A lot of voice actors that voice, like, a lot of major voice actors still do, like, background work. Like, people don't know this, but, like, Yuri Lowenthal, fucking Spider-Man, did a lot of background work for Last of Us. Like, just the random guy grunting or random guy dying or random guy yelling, he's over there. Like, he did a lot of voices for that, and a lot of other voice actors did too. So
Yeah.
to take that away from them, that source of income for them. In an industry that's already hard to break into, like, it's already really hard to break into the voice acting industry. So to take away roles from people kind of rubs me the wrong way, but
So I don't totally understand what's happening here, because what it says is that they can license away their they can license the rights to their, like, AI voice. So if anyone wanted to use them, they have to, they still get paid for it.
So time to get paid without being in the booth, but at the same time though, like, do we want to do that? Because that's a chance for, like, voice acting's already hard to break into. So to keep, like, that's why the same, like, 20 people voice everything in all the games you play and all the anime you watch.
Yeah.
So
actually, and Stray Gods is filled with voices that
it's filled with, like, Laura. I saw the fucking credits, like Laura Bailey,
Troy Baker,
fucking Ashley Johnson, like, yeah, all those names you already know about that are already, like, doing this stuff. So versus a game like Hades, for example, it's all, like, more independent voice actors, right? Like, so that's what I'm talking about. It's already a hard industry to break into. A lot of voice actors like exclusively make money on playing, like, background characters, like guy who dies or a guy who yells he's over there, or, you know, I took an arrow to the knee guy. Like, a lot of voice actors get work doing that, and to take that away from them kind of rubs me the wrong way a little bit.
But
especially if it's just to pay, like, the same, because, you know, those smaller voice actors that would normally do those like background roles, they're not going to be the ones getting paid for the AI stuff, right? It's going to be those same 20 people that do everything already are going to get those AI kickbacks. At least I would think so.
I would imagine it would shift to, like, well, this guy's cheaper, so we'll get him instead of the AI big guy. You know?
You think so, but think about this too. It's not just the cost of paying the voice actor, right? It's renting time in the studio. It's getting a voice director. It's getting an audio mixer to put that stuff together. There's more than just, I'm going to pay this guy $300 for a couple hours of voice work. There's a lot of money that goes into that. So I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way to see how it's going to happen. Again, it's already a really hard market to break into, so I could just imagine, like, that window getting smaller for up and coming voice actors. And we'll see what happens with it, honestly. Like, if they just use it to voice, like, those background characters, even then it's going to have huge, like, spillover for the rest of the industry.
They went on Twitter, and it looks like there's more to this than they were saying in that initial post, because they're saying minimum compensation increases. Let's see, provisions for consent and compensation. Pension and health caps have been raised. So there's a lot more. There's a lot more improvements that, in general, that just beyond the AI stuff
Yeah.
that they negotiated here. So, I don't know. It seems people are focusing on the AI stuff. I thought that they just wanted to get paid for the AI. I didn't realize that they just didn't want it all together. I just thought they just wanted to be properly compensated.
Well,
Or,
there's some people that don't want it at all because of the reasons I mentioned. There's some people who want it if they can get paid for it.
Yeah.
Which I understand, like the appeal of like getting paid and not having to work. It was awesome, right? But at the same time, it's like, oh God.
Well, it's them
I'm thinking about it.
using your likeness without your permission,
That's
basically,
true,
or
but
even getting paid for it.
But it's to the point of like, yeah, I get that, and it's also the point of like filling a role. So I'll have to see what they do with it, honestly. But I could only really see this like kind of fucking over voice actors, and not the big voice actors, the small up and coming ones that are still trying to break into the industry. Those are
Yeah.
the ones that get affected the most.
It seems like on Twitter, there's a lot of voice actors that are like, didn't even know this was fucking happening. It was like, what? I didn't even hear about this. So
I don't want to be a dick, but maybe if you didn't know this was happening, because a lot of voice actors did know it was coming up. So maybe like keep up with your union emails. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what happened. They didn't see this coming. Because a lot of other voice actors said that they did see it coming. They just couldn't say anything about it. So if you're part of a union, you're paying union fees. Like there's paperwork that gets sent over to you to review like union contracts and stuff that's coming up. So I don't know. Like we'll see what happens with it. Maybe I'm totally off base here. I'm not a voice actor, but that's what a union's for. That's what you pay union fees for. So we'll see what happens here. But
yeah.
I can only really see this affecting like smaller voice actors. Those are the ones that I see getting like fucked up. Next news: Xbox to present Developer Direct returning January 18th.
Yeah.
You guys remember the Developer Directs? It's like a in-depth look at some upcoming titles. So you actually get developers to come in and talk about the games that they're coming out. And
Yeah. They only did one last year.
Yeah.
That was their first
I
one.
like these.
That was the one where they announced Hi-Fi Rush launching. Yeah.
Yeah. I like these because it's more from like an industry, like developer to developer type of dialogue.
Yeah.
And it is like a marketing thing. There's some marketing stuff in there, right? People announce new games here, but it's a good way to talk about like if you're actually interested in like the nitty gritty part of like game development. This is a way to get more of that.
Yeah.
So I like these.
And the games we know are going to be there. They said Machine Games and Indiana Jones.
Good.
Awesome.
I want to see how that's going to come out. Yeah.
Obsidian's Avowed. Yeah.
That's what I wanted to see for a while. So.
This one I don't know anything about. Aura History Untold.
No idea.
No idea.
Yeah, they said you was Saga Hellblade 2.
I hope that game is good, man. I hope all these games are fucking good.
Me too.
This Xbox has just been eating shit
Yeah, dude.
for a very long time.
Like, the last like really good game they put out was like maybe Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah.
And maybe Halo Infinite, depending on how you feel about Halo. And that even that had a really like shitty launch.
You know what's crazy? The only time people speak positively or anything about Halo Infinite is they're talking about the multiplayer. I don't hear anyone talking about the campaign.
Because the campaign sucked when it came out. Dude. The game did not work when it came out. Yeah, we're not going to go into that though. Because there's a lot of shit happened with that game when it came out. It was not ready to be released.
Yeah.
So we'll see this, man. I'm excited. Like any of these developer directs and stuff I'm into. So we'll see when that drops January 18th.
That'll be next Thursday. So we here.
Awesome Games Done Quick 2024 schedule is already up. It's going to start Sunday, January 14th. So be there for that, man. It'll be cool. Like, see some cool games done quick. Just a couple games listed on here. We have
They're starting with Tunic, which
yeah, starting with Tunic.
I have to
Is
see
30
that.
minutes, any percent unrestricted. So I would like to see that, but I haven't played Tunic yet, so I don't want it to like ruin it for me.
Yeah.
So probably skip that. Interesting here, Donkey Kong 64, but it's the Wii U Virtual Console version of it.
Oh.
And the restriction is no levels early, which why even make that a thing? Just who cares? Like if you
Well, because some people like to. There's different categories, and some people think it's not a
it's dumb.
true.
I think it's
Why is that dumb? No, because it's like
there should only be two categories.
No,
right?
because
Either speed run to
because
get to the end or speed run 100%. That should be all that matters. At least to
yeah, but then there's games like Ocarina of Time that are so fucking busted that you can beat the game and like you can have credits run in like 5 minutes.
That's why I'm saying like 2%. Like
but then everyone's doing the same. There's just one way to do it, and everyone's doing the same thing. It's just whoever does that thing. It's like not even fun. It's not even fun to watch. It's not even like I don't know, like shit like that. It's just not.
Okay, I'll get you then.
I mean, having like different categories where it's like no levels early, or it's like mostly glitchless runs. It's like. I guess shit like that is kind of weird.
And again, define like a glitch. Like, define what a glitch is. Like that's another thing that's like kind of weird to like argue.
No
like,
out of bounds. Yeah.
See, like I said, no out of bounds, no glitch. Wouldn't that be under the same category?
Yeah.
Whereas an out of bounds not technically a glitch. Like.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, if you want to do this, that's fine. But like, we have to have more like black and white descriptions of what these are. That's what I'm saying. The most common way I think should be to do speed runs are either like two categories: any percent run or 100% run. That's I think the best way to handle it.
Yeah.
Now again, you gotta define what 100% means. Like.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Because in Zelda, again, you can get items before. There's things you can do to just get every item in the game without even doing anything. So. They have another category that's like, okay, you have to get the items from the original location. Even if you do give yourself an item the wrong way, you still have to get it the right way, even if you have the item.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's shit like that. And Zelda, like, there's some games that are just so fucked up that they kind of have to have these like specific categories.
You have a game like Zelda that's so broken, you could like do a glitch and get 100% on your save file and still beat the game in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, and that makes sense.
So they force you to,
because no one's explained to me like why there's so many fucking categories.
Yeah, it forces you to have to, even if you give yourself the boomerang by some fucked up method, you still have to go into the dungeon and open that chest to get the boomerang the normal way. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay, thank you for explaining it, because like no one's been able to explain it to me before.
Well, you know, I'm a guy. I watch these things for real. So,
yeah. And that's cool. Like, I think they're cool. Don't get me wrong, but I just never understood why there's so many categories. And that makes sense. That some games are just so broken they need them.
Yeah.
New trailers and videos. Digested.
Yeah, I
watched this trailer and it's like, I don't think this is a fetish thing, but
I was hoping it was though, like a vore game. It's not though.
It's not. It's trying to be like a serious survival horror game. You're running away from like a giant snake for the whole game, and
yeah, I wonder if there's more creatures.
I wonder too. Or if it's just a snake, like snakes are scary. Like that's fine too.
I think snakes are cool.
Snakes are scary. They're gross. I don't like snakes.
The whole body cam thing is like really cool. The effect really works. It's like this and then that cop one.
Oh yeah. The body cam thing works super well here. And you can move the camera around to like face yourself too. That's really neat.
Yeah.
I like this. This is cool.
This reminds me of that train game. There's a train game. It's basically the same fucking thing, except it's not like body cammed. But there's a killer train chasing
Oh, the
you.
Thomas Tank Engine like game. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's like a spider. Yeah. I've seen that game before. It's like a
Yeah.
meme game.
And like you have to like run to specific
Charlie.
locations to Choo Choo Charlie. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it just looks very similar in that you have to like run to specific locations.
Yeah.
In that game, you actually have like your own train and it has like a turret on it.
Yeah.
But in this, it looks like you're just on foot.
Yeah, this looks cool. I'm into this. It's interesting. I'll wait till this comes out. I might check it out. Or I'll probably watch someone else play it. So more of like that'll be what happens. Some other game releases. Coming January 11th, we got Laika Age Through Blood. You played this in the demo derby, right?
Yeah, it's like imagine a Trials game, but also a Metroidvania.
Yeah, which
it is so it's very fucking difficult because you have to do tricks to like I think you do like a front flip to reload your gun, and then you do like a backflip. Doing a backflip does something too, or it like reloads your health or something like that. Yeah. It's so difficult because if you don't land it, then you just die. It's like, but also shit is shooting at you, and the way to like deflect shots, you have to like flip your vehicle to like you block shots with the angle of your motorcycle, and then you also can do flips to like reflect shots back at whoever shot it at you. It's so like crazy to wrap your head around the controls. It's like difficult. It's difficult just from the controls alone. So I think before you buy it, there's a demo on Steam to just maybe check out first before you buy it. There's a $15 game.
Yeah, I'm into it, man. I want to check it out. Momodora, Moonlit Farewell. I've heard of these games. They're like these hard like Metroidvanias, right? Yeah.
They're not very difficult, but they're very fun though.
Oh, I heard they're like Souls likes. I think it was something else. I've been thinking of something else.
No, these ones are pretty normal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I heard these were cool. I heard these Momodora games are good, so I might check that out.
Yeah.
Top Racer Collection. It's a collection of the 16-bit racing games. Top Racer, Top Racer 2, and Top Racer 3000, and Top Racer Crossroads.
I've never heard of these.
I've never heard of these either. Everything's gonna have new game modes, new cars, all kinds of shit. So if you're a fan of Top Racer,
looks like Outrun.
A little bit. So check that out when it comes out, January 11th. Today. War Hospital. Take charge of a World War I field hospital on the Western Front and make all the decisions necessary to help the soldiers recover and support the war effort in this narrative management game. You are the last bastion of humanity. Interesting take, like a hospital sim, but on the front lines in the Western Front of World War I. Like, interesting. I like this idea.
Yeah.
This is something pretty cool. I like this idea here. Congratulations to something cool. And last but not least, January 12th, Friday, tomorrow, we are getting Crystal Story, Dawn of Dusk. I've never heard of this game. It looks very Undertale-esque.
I saw an image of this when I was... Oh, this is an RPG. That's an airship.
The screenshots look like Zelda. But I'm watching the trailer. I'm skipping through the trailer.
It looks like Zelda. It looks like Undertale. It looks like Final Fantasy. Like, yeah, interesting.
This looks like Undertale as fuck. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I like Undertale, but
Undertale more. Let's Earthbound. Let's say. Yeah. Yeah, the video that's there doesn't show much because it's like very quickly cut.
Yeah. There's a demo for it. That might be worth checking out.
Oh yeah.
It's coming out tomorrow. It says it blends action and turn-based battles.
Yeah, in the trailer, it shows them like standing in the middle of a thing and getting attacked on all four sides and like jumping over the attacks.
Which is interesting. And then if you scroll down on the Steam page, there's like a video of them like jumping around and like throwing fireballs and stuff. So
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure what that is. Maybe it's like a hybrid of like turn-based and action RPG combat, which would be cool to see. Like I'll check it out. It looks interesting. Might check out the demo. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the show, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to say hi. I love doing this show.
Yeah.
I love talking about games. I'm gonna fix my headset after the show's over. I'm gonna try to. In the meantime, tell the people they can find us, man.
Guys, you can go to Gameoverse.com, Gameoverse.com/Twitch, Gameoverse.com/YouTube, Gameoverse.com/Discord. And you go in there and not. Go in there, Gameoverse.com/tip and give us a tip. I don't advertise that like at all, but it's there, so maybe I should do that a little more. Yeah. If you give us anything, we will recycle it back into the stream.
Yep.
To fund more games and fun things to do on the thing. So
it'll be fun. So come in and say hi. We're always responding. So come in and say hi on the Discord. We love talking about games.
Yeah.
And maybe you might be on the podcast next. Probably not, but never say never.
Follow your nose.
Anyway, everybody be good, be safe, be excellent with each other, and we'll see you all next week.